Hey everybody, this is Erika Szabo, welcome back. So today is Friday the 13th, woo! Or maybe not woo, I don't know. But I decided I would do a freaky ass video for you guys because it seemed like the proper time to. Now my review of Majora's Mask on the 3DS isn't going to be coming until next week, probably next Wednesday, because I want to spend more time with the game before I review it for all of you. So I thought a good lead up to that would be to do my top 10 scariest moments in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Now the reason why I limited it to these two is because these two have a lot of freaky shit in them. I had more than my fair share of nightmares and tears and everything that I am, for whatever reason, subjecting myself to right now. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but I'm doing it because it's fun, and why not? Why not? So yeah, there's a lot of freaky shit in these games, and I figured this would be a really good chance to. So yeah, let's get started. So we're gonna start things off with one that I always found kind of weird, and I think Nintendo was kind of weird for doing this, but it has to do with all of the the disembodied human hearts in the Legend of Zelda series. 'Cause that's weird. That's really, really weird. It's like Nintendo thought, oh, let's call them heart pieces to make them sound less unsettling. Yeah, no. No, 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 no. I remember asking my parents as a kid, why are their hearts laying around like that? And guess what? They had no clue what to say to me. I especially like them in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, maybe because this was our first chance to play the Legend of Zelda series in 3D, but it was pretty weird, pretty strange, really strange. Link must really love consuming these. I'm getting some sort of Pandora's Tower vibes here. I actually feel really bad for him considering the kind of world he lives in. Maybe it's normal for him, or maybe he's actually secretly crazy and we don't know. Maybe this is why he's a mute. I wouldn't be surprised. Alright, so now that we've got that one out of the way, that one is pretty unsettling. But the next one, the real hope crusher here, are pea hats from Ocarina of Time's Hyrule Field, aka demon plant spawn. So just when you think you're finally free from Kikiri Forest and ready to set off on your adventure through the vast Hyrule Field, we are soon attacked by giant flying killer plant things with razor blade wings, affectionately known as pea hats. Yes, I gotta love those guys, really. To feel that sense of freedom and quickly have those dreams crushed by these enemies is just brutal, especially as a kid. Like, what were they thinking? Why would they do that to us? But you know, I mean, let's not even get into the Stall Children. I don't even know if I want to go there because that's already traumatizing enough, so yeah. So next we're gonna move on to freaky characters. So think to yourself for a second there. What character can you think of off the top of your head from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask who is freaky as hell? Really weird character. I think the first one that comes to my head is the Happy Mask Salesman. He is something else entirely. So, I don't know, I mean, this guy has like some sort of split personality or something. I have no idea. Having played a much bigger role in Majora's Mask, the Happy Mask Salesman is, yeah, he's kind of, how would you put this? He's kind of hard to read. He has no in-betweens. He's very, bipolar in that sense. Constantly switching between his creepily happy face, which is really creepy. Like, I don't know how anyone would be happy from that, to the even creepier angry face the moment you disappoint him. This guy has no in-betweens. He is so black and white, and you just never know when to expect that side of him to come out, but neither side is very enjoyable, to be honest. Innocent or not, this dude constantly looks like he wants to eat my soul. Poor Link. Next up, Wall Masters. Yay. No. So yeah, nightmares were kind of inevitable with this. Like the first time I glimpsed one of them in A Link to the Past, it was just, I didn't even have a chance. I didn't. But can you imagine how much worse those nightmares were after playing the game in 3D? Holy shit. Seriously, there is something really terrifying about the Well Masters when you're playing them in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask in particular. You know, sure, all these enemies do or sneak up on you and take you back to the beginning of the dungeon, but just watching that shadow above you grow bigger and bigger and being totally aware of the impending doom is a thing of nightmares. Yep. Now this one was a really good jump scare. This one was just really creepy lore in Ocarina of Time, and it is the House of Skulltula in Ocarina of Time's Kakariko Village. So here's the lore to this one. Folks around here tell of a fabulously rich family that once lived in one of the houses in this village. But they say that the entire family was cursed due to their greed. Who knows what might happen to those who are consumed by greed? Turned into terrifying spider people, maybe? Yeah, you know, Skulltulas already gave me quite a few jump scares in general, the way they kind of just like pop out at you. It's even scarier when you're in this house and you see all the cobwebs and you see the house looks abandoned or something. And you know something's gonna happen, but you have no idea when. And then it happens, but it's even worse than a Skulltula. It's not simply a jump scare, because then you see the look of fear on their faces in their weird mutated human spider faces. Next up, I got another thing of nightmares. This one I really enjoy a lot, actually. I'm kind of weird in that like it scares me a lot, but I like watching these videos on YouTube. And that has to do with the mask transformations in Majora's Mask. So I don't think it's just me saying this, but Kid Link looks like he's in a lot of pain every time he puts on one of these masks. And that screaming? Yeah, that's some freaky shit right there. Especially the Zora transformation. That was by far my favorite. Just the look on that face is, oh god. It's pretty creepy. I mean, can you even imagine having your entire body be mutated at rapid speed? Maybe you don't want to. So this list wouldn't feel right without one enemy that I know a lot of you really love. And one that I really love, even though it scared the bejesus out of me. And those are Redeads from Ocarina of Time. So, for obvious reasons, this is, yeah. I remember flipping through this strategy guide as a kid and feeling my stomach sink the moment I saw my first Redead. I mean, they're basically zombies with these creepy wooden masks on, and when you're like 9 years old and you see something like that, that's pretty scary. I was mortified, basically. And as though that weren't scary enough, to actually experience them is something else entirely. I mean, they freeze you if you get too close, let out this horrible shriek, and then hump you to death. That's, yeah, it's pretty traumatizing as a kid. I remember crying a lot. I mean, until this happened. So when working on this list, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, well, what enemy is actually, in my mind, scarier than Redeads? Because Redeads are pretty freaky, except for when they do that little dance sequence. Then it gets kind of funny, and then you're not really scared of them anymore. But, yeah, so I was thinking, I'm like, what is genuinely terrifying? And then immediately I thought to myself, Dead Hand. And that was that. So Dead Hand is a mini-boss at the bottom of the well in Ocarina of Time. He's, yeah, he's actually legitimately scary looking. I really wish someone would make a dance sequence out of his wriggling, creepy ass body, because I think that would make everything so much funnier. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, he's pretty traumatizing to look at with his tumorous mass of a body, gigantic gaping mouth, and infinite wriggling hands. Like that's pretty... Yeah, I keep saying weird in these videos, but they are. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. I mean, without him, you wouldn't have the Lens of Truth, which is an incredible item to have at your disposal. But to experience that as a kid, or seriously, I mean, even imagine Kid Link having to fight this thing, I feel bad for him. So some of you might say this is a little bit of a cheat right here, because it's technically not part of the games, but I don't even know why I did that. There's no point in using those, but I did because I'm terrified clearly and I have lost my head or something. But I'm a big fan of the Ben drowned creepypasta from Majora's Mask. I'm a big creepypasta fan, so this was sort of a no-brainer on the list and is the second to last on the list. And it's got some freaky stuff. So I've been a huge creepypasta fan for a long time now. I think since my 4chan days back when I was 17. Really big fan. I think this and the Morrowind creepypasta are the best ever, in my opinion. But this one in particular creeped me out because of my history with this already creepy game. Seriously, how much more creepy could you get? Plenty. Plenty. YouTuber Jaduceable knew just how to scare us. Seriously, this guy knew just what he was doing. So just to put you in the loop, Ben Drowned is an online legend about a haunted Majora's Mask cartridge, often associated with the following phrases. You shouldn't have done that. You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you? Your turn and you're next. It consists of various strange in-game glitches, like visual glitches, incorrectly displayed text, a reversed version of the Song of Healing, which, if you didn't notice, I've been playing in the background of this video the whole time, as well as the appearance of the Elegy of Emptiness statue, otherwise known as Ben, who follows you around like he's going to eat your soul, because the way he parts his lips and you see his little teeth and, oh my god. So last but certainly not least, this should be a no-brainer because a lot of you are like, so where is it? I know this is going to be on everybody's list in terms of Legend of Zelda scary moments, but for me, I think what was most scary about this one was the fact that there was really nothing you could do about it. And that has to do with the moon and Majora's Mask. So this is some pretty freaky shit. Whenever I think about the moon in particular, I think to myself, what were the developers thinking? Were they really completely there when they were doing this? I mean, this is a really good game. This is like one of my favorite Legend of Zelda games, to be honest, because I love how it deals with the theme of death. I think it's very interesting, and I think it's very much a dark horse in the series, and I think that it deserves all the appreciation that it gets. And I'm super happy that they're finally deciding to release, you know, the 3DS port of this game. But honestly, let's think about the moon here for a second. What more can I actually say? It is truly a thing of nightmares. With only 3 days to save the world, the pressure is immediately felt. This place just feels off. It feels so surreal, yet you're in this totally different world and you have this giant moon, which is like the worst face ever. He's just constantly looking down at you and constantly reminding you of the fact that the world's gonna end. Like, he's such a jerk. He is such an asshole, but I love him. You know, the closer he gets to the earth, the more evil he seems to become. Those beady red eyes with maniacal expression, he's just this gigantic, mad, terrifying hunk of rock. You know, you're screwed. You have nothing you can do. There's absolutely nothing. You can't beat this guy. He's a moon. What are you gonna do, huh? What are you gonna do? Nothing. That's what you're gonna do. So I hope you enjoyed my top 10 scariest moments in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Yeah, that was fun. Actually, that was a really good release. That's like all of my fears have been released, and I'm still scared, but I'm maybe a little bit less scared now. I can kind of laugh at myself about all of this. But yeah, I love getting scared, to be honest. I love horror films. I love horror video games, even though I can't play most of them. But yeah, there's just something really thrilling about it all, and that's why I want to do this list. And this seemed like the perfect day to do so as well. So I really hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know what some of your favorite scary moments are in any of the Legend of Zelda games for that matter. Do whatever you like. And yeah, I will see you all later, okay? Alright, peace.